All right. All right, sorry about the technology issues that we had. I'm going to go kind of fast, obviously a little bit short on time. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask, and hopefully we have some time at the end. So we'll start off talking about our keys to our success. A lot of people have asked, how'd you do it? How'd you turn it around? And those type of things. And as football coaches, we know it always starts with culture. All right? And that's cliche. Everybody talks about culture. But if you want to develop a good culture, you have to be intentional about it. And I'm going to relate culture to our offense specifically and how that helped us. If you want to learn about culture, if you're a first-time head coach, Coach Glass is the man to talk to. He's the best I've ever seen at it. He does things that he doesn't even know that he's doing. And it creates a really special program with everybody involved. So he's definitely the one to ask to do as far as culture goes. Obviously, the team. A lot of people talk about it. They put signs up. What are you doing to emphasize how important that is? Our focus is on winning, not individual stats, and not playing time. Coach Glass doesn't care about stats. I text him our stats. He doesn't care. Doesn't even respond. And, he doesn't cater to any kid, any parent about playing time. If a kid's not doing what he's supposed to do in practice and he started 3 years in a row, he'll sit him on the bench just to re-emphasize the culture. It starts with accountability. And one thing I think that's missing a lot in high school football, it starts with the head coach holding himself accountable. So Coach Glass does a great job of that, obviously. He does a great job of holding our assistants accountable in a bunch of different ways. Obviously, he does a great job of holding our players accountable. And it's all about consistency, okay? I know a lot of this stuff is cliche, like I said, but I'm going to tie it directly into our success on offense. Same thing, expectations. Coach Glass has expectations of everybody in our program to give their absolute best all the time. And if you're not, he's going to try to find a way to motivate you. But our expectations are high every day in the classroom, in the weight room, on the practice field, coaches, players, everybody involved in the program. And it's a top-down thing where we have high expectations of our coaches, our players, and again, it's all about being consistent. Hopefully we'll get the film and I can kind of show you this. And one thing we do is that really relates to culture is we call party in the end zone. So when we score, all 11 guys sprint to the end zone. We don't do any crazy dances or anything, but they really show their support and love for each other. And that's something that we started from the beginning. And every time we score and they get in the end zone, you can just kind of see the culture of our program come out. All right, obviously player development is huge. And another cliche thing is character. But it's not just about developing high character with your players so they can become good husbands and fathers, which is most of our number one goal. But the character translates to your success on the field with unselfishness and culture and everything else. That all ties together. Obviously, you got to develop and utilize talent. What's the most important thing for winning games is having talented players. We all know that. That's number one. Okay. But not just having talented players, you have to develop their character, and you have to develop their talent and utilize their talent. Obviously, one of the biggest ways is the weight room. I don't think enough coaches are specific in the weight room as far as what they're trying to do on the field. So this kind of happened naturally for us. I don't think Coach even realized it, but the way he coaches our guys in the weight room is exactly how we practice. It's 1,000,000 miles an hour. They're holding each other accountable. They're getting as many reps as they can. They're supersetting all the time. So, it's basically cheating in the weight room for us. And the kids have got to a point where they can hold each other accountable. They can work hard in the weight room by doing those things. And he also puts a huge emphasis on explosion, flexibility, recovery, all the types of things that are actually incorporated in our offense. What we do in the off season is huge. Coach 20 years probably did it 20 different ways. What we did this year was really special, I think. We started in the winter. In February, we practice our skill guys 1 day a week in the morning, an hour before school. That's where we're working on our spacing and our timing and our reads, you know, with our passing game. So all our offensive skill guys come in, like I said, one day in the morning to work on those things. In the spring, our skill guys go on Saturdays. We practice on Saturday because we encourage all our guys to play multiple sports. A lot of them do. And Saturday's the day we can get them all together. So one day a week on Saturday in the morning, and that's where we're, you know, again, working on our timing, working on our culture, and everything that goes into what we do offensively. All right? In the summertime, and I thought this was really special with what Coach does. You know, a lot of people do reward systems and stuff in the summer where, you know, you get your name on your jersey if you attend 80% and all this stuff. You know, kids got all these different things going on in the summer. How do you motivate them to come? And I don't know what the answer is, but he does it. Our kids are 100% all in the summer. They all come every single day unless they're traveling for basketball or something like that. And there's no incentive program. You know, there's no real discipline if they don't show up. It's just that natural intrinsic culture that he's built. And our kids show up in the summer. You know, so our starters are there every single day in the summer. Okay, and obviously that's a big influence on what we do offensively. Practice tempo and efficiency. Like I related this to the weight room. You know, we're developing our players to think fast, to play fast, and to act fast on the field. So we do that. We practice like we play. You know, we practice up tempo every snap. We're doing individual drills, team drills, whatever it may be, and we're constantly trying to improve our practice tempo and our efficiency, which brings it all together. One of the biggest challenges I think we have as coaches is how much do we hit, right? How much do we hit nowadays? You can't go out there and have full live contact for 30 minutes every single day. So what we did this year, I think really helped us. You know, I've labeled it as limited meaningful contact, meaning, you know, during the season we have Bloody Tuesday like everybody else. You know, we go really hard on Tuesday and kind of back off a little bit the other days, but we're going to get our contact in. And we're going to limit it, but we're going to be strategic about it, okay? And when we do it, they're getting after it. They're absolutely getting after it for that small amount of time. So you've got to be careful about how you manage that. All right, these are our starting skill players this year. Okay, you can see obviously we had great numbers, but the key to this is our quarterback, our running back, and all four receivers had huge impacts on our team. And how does that happen? Because of culture. All right, and one thing I wanted to point out, 2 years ago, Medley, the receiver, he had one catch for 9 yards in a game. He was our #1 receiver that year. Never complained, not one time, blocked his butt off the other 49 plays. Parents didn't complain. You know, there was the culture that we built to help our skill players is unbelievable. So anyways, he had one catch for 9 yards, and next week he had 200 yards receiving and set the school record. Excuse me. This year, same thing happened with Ellis, another one of our receivers. He had one catch for 5 yards in the game, didn't complain, blocked his butt off. First one to celebrate in the end zone every time we scored. True team player. And then the next week he came out in round 3 of the playoffs and had 225 yards receiving and set the school record again. So the reason I bring that up is all about the culture. Okay? It helps us be successful on offense because our kids truly love each other. They don't complain. You know, we haven't had one parent meeting with these 6 parents about playing time or reps or touches. You know, that's one of the hardest things we do, especially when you spread it out and you throw it a lot, is, you know, keeping everybody happy, right? Well, we keep our kids happy by winning. That's the key. And just some stats real quick, you can see how balanced we were. You know, 48 touchdowns passing, 45 rushing. You know, 52% of our touchdowns were passing, 48% run. We were 43% passing, 57% run in our play calls. All right, and it's intentional, but has a lot to do with, you know, we're reading the defense, what they're giving us. 6-man box, we're going to throw it. 5-man box, we're going to run it. And but it's, you know, you're a passing team or you're a running team. You know, we're going to do what the defense gives us, and obviously the balance was a huge part of our success. Just real quick, this is basically our playbook. Okay, I'm not going to get too much into this, but, you know, basically any kind of running play you can come up with, we have in our system somehow. and any kind of pass we have in our system. So the way we communicate has allowed us to be able to do basically whatever we want, okay, from a no-huddle perspective. So obviously we're not going to run all these every game and every year, but we're going to focus on, you know, what our players can do, and but have the ability to do whatever we want. So if we want to put in a new play that we haven't run for 3 weeks, you know, our guys understand the terminology, they understand the pre-snap, post-snap reads, etc. Probably the biggest thing on this board for us was dart was our best run play, and you know, we're not going to inside zone and double team and move people off the ball. We have one lineman that's 220 and the rest of them are under 200 this year. So our tackles can pull and get after it. We have a bunch of different pre-snap and post-snap reads for our quarterback, our running back, and our lineman, which, you know, dart really fit our guys. And as far as the passing game goes, you know, how'd you throw for all these yards, this crazy air raid mesh and all this stuff? It was quick game for us. You know, offensive line wasn't real big. They, you know, dogs play hard, you know, understand the schemes, understand our pass protection, which we simplify. But we're getting the ball out quick. Our quarterback's almost 100% accuracy on quick balls. And obviously we had good receivers, good running back we could throw to also. And, you know, our lineman could block for 2 seconds, and that's all we needed. So that, you know, those two plays were really the biggest part of our success. All right, I'm going to run through this super fast. We run no huddle. It's all about communication. We've got a bunch of different tempos. Obviously, it allows us to read the defenses, you know, up in the press box home plays. I feel like we're in a good position every single time we snap the ball. And if we don't like the play, we can always change it. Obviously, we minimize defensive substitutions with our tempo. If we see somebody, a D-lineman tap their helmet because they want to come out, we'll just go fast and we can snap it within 5 seconds. So it gives us a lot of advantage the way we run our no-huddle system. Obviously, we minimize the schemes and the checks and stuff that defenses can run. By going so fast, you can't do a bunch of different stuff on defense, which obviously simplifies things. You know, we don't like to waste energy jogging back and forth to the huddle, especially in practice. We're getting a million reps all the time, so which obviously I think makes us better. We do a lot of spacing and route adjustments. And again, this starts in February before school. Our guys understand the spacing we want, our alignment rules, what our adjustments are, pre-snap, post-snap reads based on the coverages, and the way we run our no-huddle allows us to do that and teach our guys. And obviously there's holes in every defense, we're just trying to find them. So our ultimate goal with the no-huddle is do whatever we want, whenever we want, however we want. Okay, that's kind of the philosophy. And you know, we're not a this type team or this type team. We want to be able to do whatever we want based on the defense. So our system allows us to do that. A big thing with running no huddle the way we do it is practice efficiency. You know, I feel like we're getting twice as many reps as the average team in practice. And another thing, we don't have to go out there and practice for 3 hours a day. Like a lot of teams do, you know, the more reps the better you're going to be, right? Well, we don't have to practice that long because of our tempo and the way we practice and as many reps as we get. So we're getting better, we're working on recovery, physical, mental, quickness, sharpness, and you know, we're not beating our kids to death and leaving them out there for 3 hours every single day. Obviously, we practice different situations naturally with our no huddle. So 2-minute drill, 4-minute drill comes up in a game, our kids don't sweat it at all because we put non-stop pressure on them in practice. One of the big things we do, I think if you pull one thing from the presentation, is that we're teaching our players how to learn the defense. You know, freshmen come in, they don't know what cover 2 means, they don't know what squeeze wrong arm means. So the way we practice with our no huddle and our communication system, we're constantly teaching our kids a game of football and teaching them the different dynamics of coverages and different things, and it's made a huge difference with our players being able to route adjust and understand what's going on. All right, our communication brief plan, we go through this super quick. We do hand signals, okay? And the reason is, you know, not to knock anybody that does it differently, wristbands and stuff like that. If you use wristbands, you call the play out, the number, however you do it, kids got to look at the wristband, read it, and then rock and roll. But to me, you're wasting 4 or 5 seconds, okay? So everything we do is hand signals. We can get a formation and a play in and snap the ball within 5 seconds. That's our goal when we go fast. So if we get a first down, we're trying to do it before the change gets set. And we do that with communication with our hand signals. Okay, and it's kind of like it's kind of like we're speaking through our signals. Like we could go out there and run a practice and not even talk. Because every single thing we do, every adjustment, every route, every concept, every read, we have a hand signal for. So first thing we signal is the tempo. Second thing we signal is formation. And a shift in motion if we had it, and then the play. All right? And sometimes it looks crazy. These guys give me a hard time. We got 50 million signals and all this crazy stuff going on. And at first it seems confusing, but as soon as your kids get it, now you can accomplish what we try to do, is be able to run whenever we want, whenever we want. Right? And we have tags for different players and different motions and all these things. So, you could come up and draw up any play you want, and we have a way to fit it into our system. All right, we run 5 different tempos. The first one is check with me, which is, if we don't signal a special tempo, it's always check with me. So I can always change the play. Obviously, our fast tempo we like a lot. Like I said, we try to snap it within 5 seconds to get the play call in. We run freeze count like everybody else. Try to make it look like the fast tempo so the defense doesn't know. We can go on 2, and easy is the best one. That's when we're trying to build the clock. So our quarterback knows to snap it within the last 5 seconds. So the way we communicate, the way we run our tempos, we can run any play in the playbook. We can tag anything, even if we haven't ran it in practice. We can snap it within 5 seconds, and we can snap it with 2 seconds left to go on the clock. So we can control the clock, based on our tempos and our communication. Western Finals we're playing, we got 6.5 minutes left, I believe. We're down 5. We got to score, but we know we need to run as much time off of that clock as we can. So we're mixing up our tempos to give us advantages, but at the same time managing the clock. State championship game, we're tied with 2.5 minutes left. So obviously we got to go fast to score. First play, our quarterback scrambles, we get down to like the 35 or the 40. Now we got to slow it down a little bit. So our kids don't panic. We can change the tempos back and forth to accomplish what we need to do. All right, we're going to watch film just for a few minutes. Here's my contact info if you want to take a picture of that. I'll be releasing some videos and stuff online, and if you want to come hang out with us and talk ball, or you want to come check us out on Saturday in the spring, is a good time to kind of see what we do. But please feel free to contact me anytime. How much time I got left?
About 8 minutes.
I'm tired of this. All right, so just for time purposes, I got one play that we're going to talk about. It's dart. It's our biggest run, and I have 20 clips, and we're basically running it a different way 20 times. Okay, so one play, 20 different ways to run it based on formation, reads, defense, and whatnot. And again, because of the way we practice with our tempo, teaching our kids the game, not just the quarterback, but our linemen, our running back, and our receivers. And I don't care what kind of defense you're in, we have rules and we have reads, and we can keep running the same play over and over again. So this is just dart. We're in a stack formation. We got a shade to the left, just an even front, just running dart to the shade, pretty simple. All right, and when we run dart, it's an RPO. So anytime we're pulling the tackle, we're reading the defensive end, so we're reading the right defensive end. If he doesn't destroy the running back, we're giving it. Okay, we don't give him all these crazy rules where he turns his shoulder, or if he does this, or how, whatever. If he doesn't tackle the running back, we're giving the ball, okay? If he does, then, I'll get to those reads in a second. But that's just simple dart, not real big up front, not great, and we get 20 yards on the play. All right, now they're in the under front, so we got a 3 technique to the right, to the weak side. So we make a line call, our guys understand, now we're trying to run an A-gap, obviously. Okay, it's an ISO concept to a 3-5. So we're going A gap. I would call this a 5.5-man box, right? Because the right linebacker is about 3 yards outside the tackle or the defensive end, and then there's a mic in the middle. So we're just running dart. Obviously, we're going to ISO the mic, and we're just going to the 3 technique. But you can see how our left tackle pulls. He knows we're going into A gap because they made a call. All right, he's going to get up in there as quick as he can. And that's a really good defense, and we just got 9 yards. All right, this one's kind of quick. All right, but I wanted to show this. You know, this is an odd front. We're running dark. They like to reduce from the boundary. So we know we're basically getting the shade 5 to the field. It's really a 4-2, right? So the shade, the nose guard, you can see is an A gap right now. Okay, so we're going to B gap, running regular dart, but the shade spins into B gap. Okay? So when he spins into B gap, now they got two guys in the same gap. The way we practice with our reps and our understanding of the game, the running back can clearly see that, and then he just hits in the open hole. So even stunts and movements and stuff on defense, because of our rules and the way we practice, we can figure that out. All right, this is a tempo one. So we're running tempo, we're snapping the ball. Obviously the defense is not ready here. They don't have one guy lined up and ready. So we're just running dart, and you can see the will linebacker is long. He's not where he's supposed to be. Okay, so we got a good play call based on, you know, where they are when the ball snap. But we just run dart, pretty simple. Don't block that well, we get 12 yards.
5 minutes.
Yes, sir. All right. What happens when they blitz on the play side? Okay. Again, when we run our inside period on Tuesday, you know, we probably run dart for 10 minutes and get 25 reps. All right. One day we got like 40-some reps. It was crazy, but we're repping every possible situation that the defense can do on dart. So if they blitz to the play side, all right, you can see our left tackle. See his head's tilted in a little bit. You know, everybody talks about pre-snap and post-snap reads with quarterbacks. We do with our linemen too. So our left tackle knows who he's isoing. He can see him creeping and blitzing, so that gives him an advantage. When the ball snaps, he knows he's blitzing. It's basically a trap block at that point. So you can see, like, he knew it was coming. It was very efficient for him. All right, we run dart. Obviously, we give it again. Okay, don't block great. We get 15 yards. All right. So they're scrambling a little bit, but really, what's the defense here? Okay, two guys are walked up. I don't know what you'd call it, but to me, it's a bear front, really. You got a nose and 2 3s and 2 5s, even though they're linebackers and they're moving around. So obviously, ISO versus bear front's not a good look, right? Well, look at what our guys do. Our right tackle ISO blocks. Our right guard is combo in the nose. We really don't block the 3 technique, even though he's the linebacker walked up, and we end up just trapping. Okay, again, because of the mental reps, pre-snap, post-snap read, executing a simple play, and you know, we get 20 yards on it. All right, the other thing we do with dart is we can put our running back on the other side. So we have a tag for that, we have one signal for it. Okay, so we're running dart to the right, now our running back is on the right. Okay, so you know, we get up there, we line up, the team thinks we're going to run away from the running back, and we just make our stay opposite call, and then we're running to the play side. So when we do this, we're going to read the outside backer, right? Because our tackle's blocking the defensive end, so it's not a true read right there. So we're going to read the outside backer. Okay? He obviously doesn't come, we get a give read. Now, when we see an odd front, okay, why do people run an odd front? You don't know which way they're going, right? Well, right now, we don't know if this is going to B gap or C gap. We read it on the fly. We get a pre-snap read or something might tell us. But we read it on the fly. Our linemen read it on the fly. So here the guy steps outside. Okay, so he basically becomes a 5 technique. Our left tackle knows to go inside. All right, simple dart. There's a 5-man box. Don't block it real well. 8 yards for the first down. All right. Now, what a lot of teams start doing to us is pinching away from the running back. Okay, well that's fine. So our left tackle is going to wash. He basically becomes a 4-eye. Okay, we know that based on how we practice this week. And so we're just going to go outside and turn it into C gap. We still got a 5-man box. You know, we got a combo to the mic. We don't really get to him. Our left tackle gets to the real linebacker. Okay, and you know we get 10 yards in the first down. All right, another one where we're going outside. Okay, so again, our quarterback has a bunch of different rules based on the defense, pre-snap, post-snap reads. So the Mike linebacker's blitzing here. So the thing that can really mess up your option reads is if they're blitzing on the read side. Okay, so anytime he sees that, he knows I'm just going to give the ball. Okay, I'm not going to risk it. If we get 1 yard, it's fine. It's better than a turnover. Okay, so that's his pre-snap read. The Mike's coming. He's giving it no matter what. You know, we end up not blocking anybody and getting 6. All right, so here we're running dart again. The running back is on the play side. Okay, we're giving it. The weak side linebacker is Luke Blitzen, doesn't get there. Okay, and so we're going into A gap. Because we got a three technique. So you can see our right guard, our right tackle clearly knows it. Okay, our running back knows he's going in A gap. All right, but it's clogged up. So I know this is football 101, but we don't force our guys, you have to run an A gap if it's an A gap play, We're going to read it, we're going to react and run the grass, and again, that's how we practice. This is our backup running back in the Western Finals. Huge play. It gets clogged up, he jump cuts, and he takes it to the end zone. Okay? And in my opinion, it's just our practice efficiency which allows that to happen. All right, we know they like to loop blitz a lot. When Mike's looping outside, so we know the floor is going inside. Okay, again, our right tackle gets a pre-snap read. We plan on it this week. You can see them like creeping a little bit. He knows he's going to kick him out. Okay, we get a good play. We're going to force the safety to tackle our 220-pound running back. All right, again, another look. We're in cover here, so it's trips right. We have a signal for cover, so our two gets up on the line, and then our X receiver's off the line, so we can obviously jet him. So defensively, they're thinking, okay, something's a little bit different. Let me see what's going on. We motion the receiver across, and you can see the corner kind of comes in, all right, into the box and tight to the tackle. Okay, again, it's just another look, but we're just running dart. So we're going into B gap. Okay, it's kind of clogged a little bit, and the corner gets caught up inside. Okay, and obviously that just gives us the edge. We bounce it outside and, get 20 yards on it, just based on the formation. All right, very few times we actually ran the ball with the quarterback. Okay, even though we read it every time. So defensive end takes a running back, quarterback's going to pull it. All right, now the way our reads go, we read the defensive end first, obviously. Okay, if the quarterback pulls it, his eyes go directly to the outside backer. It's old school triple option. When his eyes go to the outside backer, number 9, okay, he's clearly taking the quick screen, right? So obviously the quarterback knows he's going to run. It's just triple option is all it is. All right, here we're in pro. Trying to build the game a little bit. We put a tight end in the game. We're running darts in the tight end, ISO versus out front, basically. Okay. Defensive end squeezes. Now he's reading the outside backer. Now his pre-snap read tells him what? They're in a 5-1 defense. They got 3 safeties, a little bit different look. So he's reading 34 as the outside backer there. Okay. Well, he knows there's another safety over there. He's 9 yards off the ball. The outside backer's probably going to take him. He's probably not responsible for screen based on the front. So. Pre-snap read tells him he's going to read the DM and he's probably going to throw it, okay, which he does. And even though it's not a great look because they have a guy out there, well, we got one of our athletes the ball in space one-on-one, okay, and that's always a good matchup for the offense. All right, hot read. So what can you do? You blood stun, right? People have done that to us. We used to run triple option, blood stun, defensive ends taking the dive. They're going to blitz the outside backer to the quarterback, make you make a decision quick, and hopefully make a mistake. Well, we knew that's what they were doing here, so, we got our running back on the play side, so we're not reading the defensive end anymore, right? We're reading the outside backer, and if he's blitzing, we're throwing high. So you can see there's not even a mesh point here, all right? But the quarterback knows they like to blitz high. They're in cover 2, and we can tag a different quick screen on it. Okay, so this is, this looks like a play action, but it's not. He's reading it. Okay, and he's got a hot read. The outside backer's coming. Going to throw the quick screen. Got one of our athletes the ball in space. He's 15, 20 yards before he's even touched. All right, we're running tempo. They're not lined up. Okay, you can see the quarterback right now. He's looking at that Sam backer. He knows he's reading the DM first, but if the Sam backer blitzes, he's throwing hot. Okay, if he's in the box and hesitating, we're throwing high. We basically have 2-on-1 out here, right? Because the Sam's not out there yet. So the quarterback's going to give a quick ride to hold the Sam, but he knows pre-snap read is probably throwing it. Post-snap read, clearly throwing it. Got our, athlete the ball in space 20 yards before he's touched. All right, we got 1 or 2 plays left. So here's a 4-2 box. We're blitzing both inside backers. Okay, now you can be stubborn and say we're going to run ISO no matter what. But probably the worst front we could get against Dart is that right there. 6-man box, both inside backers, blitz and A-gap. So our quarterback knows, based on his film study, the way we practice, probably don't want to give this if I don't have to. And he looks out here and sees that the Sam is trying to apex, so that's an advantage for us. You can see there's not really a mesh. So this pre-snap read tells him I'm going to throw, we're going to take our chances. We throw our quick screen, okay, make a couple guys miss, we get 10 yards. All right, I just wanted to show you a couple other things. This is actually counter, but it's the same concept. So read the DN, he pulls it. He clearly knows that Sam out there is not taking him, right? He's almost matching up playing man, it looks like, but quarterback knows that pre-snap read. He knows if he pulls it, he's getting downhill, so he doesn't have to read anything. He's going to take what they give him. All right, I wanted to put this one on there. This is, we call this slip screen. So we like it better versus cover 2. So we can tag whatever quick screen we want on our RPO, right? So you're going to read the DN. If he gets a pull, his eye's going to the outside backer. And then we just run the quick screen over here, but we run it with the X, okay? And then we throw it. Now, our 3 here is backup. He played maybe 10 snaps this year, all right? He's supposed to block the outside backer. Even though we're reading him, he's still going to block him when we're in trips. But if he goes hard and blitzes, we're not going to block him in the back. So what's his rule? I'm going to go to the next level and go get a safety. Okay? And the reason I want to put that one on there, that's a backup receiver who understands what we're doing, our pre-snap and post-snap reads, to execute when his name gets called and go in the game. And again, that's based on how we practice. So get your athletes the ball in space. All right, the last one, last place state championship basically. Okay, there's about 30 seconds left or so. We're running counter. All right. Now, pre-snap read tells us what? What's the coverage? Okay, we're on the goal line. It's obviously man is cover 1. So the quarterback knows that our quick screens aren't good versus cover 1. Again, based on film study, how we practice all the reps. So his pre-snap read tells him he's either giving the ball or he's going to run it. Okay? Probably not throwing the quick screen because it's man. So he knows that before the ball snaps. So he's reading the DN, then run the ball successfully the whole game. Okay, he squeezes to the running back, he's going to pull it, all right? Now, he's a special kid and he's really smart, but he sees that the mic is bumped out of the box a little bit, right? Trying to prevent us from throwing slant or hitch or something that we've been doing all game. So if you see what happens when he pulls this, he actually cuts it inside of him because we're comboing that backside backer anyway, right? So our left guard and center are comboing the nose of the backer. And he just kind of sort of gets in the way for half a second, and that's all the quarterback needs. So, you know, after this play, oh, what a call, coach, what a great call. I mean, it's just what we've been doing all year. It's a great execution by our guys, especially our quarterback here, because he understands how to read defenses, okay, just based on how we practice and, you know, understanding pre-snap reads and post-snap reads. So. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys.